This is part 2 of the preface. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the definition of the ultimate source. Right at the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, text 1, it talks about Satyam Param, the supreme absolute truth, who has been defined as Janmadhyasya Yataha, both in the Vedanta Sutra and in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is a clear, succinct, appropriate, full-fledged definition of the absolute truth. People sometimes ask, can you define God? And you'll find a very appropriate definition of the absolute truth, of the ultimate source of everything. The Vedantic literatures within the Vedic canon of scriptures, they are interested in expounding the nature of the absolute truth. The Vedanta Sutra begins by defining the nature of that absolute truth. Janmadhyasya yataha. And therefore Prabhupada says, it is a bona fide commentary on the Vedanta Sutra by the same author Srila Vyasadeva, and gradually it develops into 9 cantos up to the highest state of God realization. This is a very systematic literature. This is a bona fide commentary. It is a natural commentary, a kritrima bhashya swarupa. The Garuda Purana states, Arthoyam Brahmasutranam, that this Bhagavata Purana presents the purport of the Vedanta Sutra, the Brahma Sutra. Both of these literatures were presented by Vyasadeva. The Vedanta Sutra is a very important book, but the Srimad Bhagavatam is more important because it is presenting it in terms of exposition. The Vedanta Sutra is a very condensed literature, but this is presenting the same material in great detail. It gradually develops into 9 cantos up to the highest state of God realization. Vyasadeva is very careful on what to put in which canto. So from the first canto up to the 9th canto, it presents it sequentially. The only qualification one needs to study this great book of transcendental knowledge is to proceed step by step cautiously and not jump forward haphazardly like with an ordinary book. So this book has to be studied with respect, caution, systematically. This is a very great book of transcendental knowledge. The Srimad Bhagavatam is equal to the entire Veda. Brahma Samhitam. This is stated by Shukadeva Goswami in the 2nd canto. One does not even need to study the Vedas if he thoroughly understands the Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is a very great book of transcendental knowledge. One should not whimsically study it. It should be gone through chapter by chapter, one after another. The reading matter is so arranged with its original Sanskrit text, its English transliteration, synonyms, translation, and purports, so that one is sure to become a God-realized soul at the end of finishing the first 9 cantos. Srila Prabhupada was asked by one of his disciples, Vishal Prabhu, what is the meaning of this sentence? And Srila Prabhupada explained that this means that the reader will understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that the reader is an eternal servant or a servitor of the Supreme Lord. So by the time one finishes carefully studying the first 9 cantos with respect, one will understand this clearly. The 10th canto is distinct from the first 9 cantos because it deals directly with the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. The first 9 cantos, they constitute an introduction to the 10th canto, and as such they present the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. In the 10th canto, the activities of the Supreme Personality of God, of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is revealed. The activities are revealed. One will be unable to capture the effects of the 10th canto without going through the first 9 cantos. The book is complete in 12 cantos, each independent, but it is good for all to read them in small installments one after another. So it is good to complete one canto and then move on to the next canto. I must admit my frailties in presenting Srimad Bhagavatam, but still I am hopeful of its good reception by the thinkers and leaders of society on the strength of the following statement of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.11. So Srila Prabhupada in his humility is stating that he is not thorough or expert in presenting Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada is faithfully presenting the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and one should not doubt it on the basis of this statement of humility. The Bhagavatam does say this text that Prabhupada is quoting, Tadvag Visargo Janatagha Viplavo Yasmin Pratishlokam Abadhavatyapi Namanyantasya Yashonkitani Yat Shrinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sadhavaha. On the other hand, that literature which is full with descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, form and pastimes of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a transcendental creation to bring about a revolution in the impious life of a misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though irregularly composed, are heard, sung and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So those who are purified men who are thoroughly honest and who are leaders of society, they will accept that even if there is a presentation of the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam in manners that may be considered defective, as long as the purity of the intent of Srimad Bhagavatam is preserved, they will not consider it to be worthy of being discarded. They will hear it, sing it, accept it, distribute it. Om Tat Sat, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, dated at Delhi, December 15, 1962. Prabhupada worked on the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam before he set his foot in America, before he went to the West to begin his global attempt at spreading Krishna consciousness. He wanted to have something tangible with him, and that was the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, appropriately explained. Srila Prabhupada was directly guided by Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatan Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami in his presentation of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And later when he was asked if this was true, he admitted that this was indeed true. So this ends preface. In the next video we'll start with the introduction.